That's right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another episode of This Is My Story, This Is My Song, the show where I bring you songs that I've written over the years and tell you how they were written, why I wrote them, hopefully inspire you in your songwriting or inspire you in some way in your life. And we also do deep scientific studies here on This Is My Story, This Is My Song, like can Enosh play guitar and blow a bubble at the same time? And today, yes, kids, we have proven that fact. So welcome, sit back, and enjoy this episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Is My Story, This Is My Song, or as I like to call it, Tim Stims. That's right, Tim Stims. I don't know, it's just an acronym. Hey, welcome, and I'm so glad that you're back with us again this week. You know, this is the first episode that I'm going back to start shooting again after the first 5 original episodes. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you guys so much for your response to this show. It has been a huge blessing. I've received so many messages and emails and just notes just telling me how much this show has encouraged you, just how much you've enjoyed it every week. I've heard from people that I haven't even expected to hear from, just happened to send me a message. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much. It's very encouraging to know that people get it. You know, when I first started this thing, I wondered if people would really understand what I was trying to do, if they would think that I was just trying to, put my songs out there and say, hey, buy my songs, or hey, look what a great songwriter I am, or if you would actually understand that, this show is not about me. This show is about songs that I've written, and how they've blessed other people. And then people have written me over the years and even recently and told me how much these songs mean to them. And it's just a huge blessing. And I just want to share that with you and with the world, okay? So speaking of which, starting this week, we are going to have a new spot on the show where we're going to highlight a viewer of the week. So I thought of no better fitting way than to start off with a message that I received the very first week of the show, after the very first episode. And it was from somebody who I've known for quite a while and followed me in my old bands and just reached out to me and told me how much this show meant to them. And I want to share that with you today, okay? So just real quickly, I received this. It says, Enosh, I really wanted to tell you just how much your songs really mean to me. They have helped me through some very personal times in my life. To be honest with you, there were a lot of times in my life when your songs were all I had to lean on. I was blown away by that. She goes on to talk about our friendship and how we met, and that she was upset when Antioch broke up. And there were a lot of us who were upset when Antioch broke up. But all good things sometimes come to an end. She then highlights a few of the different songs that I've written over the years, and songs that she would like to see done here on this show. But then she says, Enosh, let me tell you something very personal that I am not at all proud of. Over the past few months, I have been really thinking about suicide and giving up. But let me tell you, your songs have kept me from doing it, along with the help of my husband and my counselor. And I no longer feel like I want to do that. Your songs remind me that there is hope and that there's a new life waiting. And that's a take off a old Antioch song that we used to do called New Life Waiting. Maybe we'll get to that song someday. She put, this life is not it. The hard times we go through are not it. God has something better. I don't think you realize just what this gift that God has given you means to me personally, and I don't have enough words to express that to you. Wow. When I received that, I was totally blown away. I had no idea, and it was just such a blessing to me. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm doing this show right there. Because, some would say, well, Enosh, you're not on some grand scale. Your songs are not known far and wide. And why would you think that they would have any impact? And let me tell you why. It's because it doesn't matter how small or large you think you are, or how important you think you are. The thing is God can use what he's given you to make a difference in other people's lives. And I want you to know that today, that no matter what you're doing in your life, that you have an effect on others. If you're just going to work and just giving someone a smile and treating someone kindly, that affects others. You know, if you're a musician and you're able to write a song that inspires somebody's life, it doesn't matter if you're a Grammy Award winner on a big stage or if you're just a local guy, you know, playing music on a street corner. If your music touches people's lives, what else matters? You know, and that's what I set out to be, was a songwriter, and to write songs that spoke into people's lives. So when I received that, wow. So I just want to say thank you to the young lady who wrote that. You are my viewer of the week, and you too can be my viewer of the week. If you write me, you can write me at enoshmusic@hotmail.com. It's on your screen there. Or, of course, you can message me on Facebook, on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/this is my story, this is my song page. Okay, make sure you put page in there. But message me this week. Let me know what you think of the episodes. Let me know what you think of the songs. Let me know if you got a song that you'd like me to talk about that you know I've written. Be happy to do that for you. Share your story with me as I share my story with you, okay? And if you do that, I got a little something special for you, a little surprise that I'll send you, and you can enjoy that, all right? So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into this week's episode and talk about a song called Take the Water to the Desert. This is a song that I wrote years ago. I was a young man, and I wrote the song because of one night. Me and my friend Rusty and the man who was like a dad to me, his name was Ed, we were all sitting in the car listening to the radio. And we were listening to this preacher on the radio, and I don't even know why we were listening to a preacher on the radio, because I didn't usually do that. But we were listening to this preacher on the radio, and Ed, you have to understand Ed. Ed came into my life when I was about 13 years old, and I didn't have any male role models in my life at that time, but Ed was there for me, man. From that time on, he came to my baseball games, he supported me, he loved me, he taught me about being a man and that role, and he was just such a good guy. And like I said, he was like a dad to me. And we laughed, we joked, never could beat him in ping pong. But he was just such a good guy. And it's ironic because I was raised by my grandmother, and my grandmother was more like my mother. Well, in the last couple years of Ed's life, Ed married my grandma, and so he became my grandfather. And so it's kind of ironic that the man who was my grandfather was more like my dad in my life, and the woman who was more like my mom in my life was my grandmother. So, Ed, I know you're looking down on us and you're listening in, so this is another one for you. I wrote this song because we were listening to the radio, like I said, and this preacher was trying to encourage people as they called up onto his show, and he was being a little over the top with it, but people would call in and talk about how they were going through this problem or that problem, and he would tell them, well, what you need to do is you need to take a drink. And that just caught us all way off guard, because that's how, you don't expect a preacher to say that. You expect usually somebody to say, oh, I'm having a hard day, man, I got to have a drink. I deserve a drink, or I need a drink. And this preacher said, you need a drink. You need to take a drink. And the lady said, what? What are you talking about? And he says, not a drink of alcohol. What you need to do is you need to take a drink of the Spirit of God. And so we started laughing. And so the whole night we were just going on and on. Take a drink, take a drink, take a drink. We said it so many times, it just got ingrained into my head. And given the fact that I was a young songwriter at the time, I was probably about 17, 18 years old at the time. And so it just stuck with me. I'm like, I got to write a song, At first I was going to call it Take a Drink. And then I changed that because I was inspired a lot by gospel music. Southern gospel, country gospel, black gospel, quartet music, stuff like that. And I remember hearing this old gospel song that said, carry the water to the desert and stop hauling water back to the sea. And what that means is that too many of us are trying to stay comfortable, stay where we like it, stay where we don't have to go way out of our way to tell somebody about Jesus or to share the gospel with somebody. Take the water to where it's needed. in the desert where people are thirsty and they need Jesus. And stop taking it back to the sea where there's plenty. And so you'll see in the song that's a theme. That's the chorus, basically. Take the water of the desert and stop hauling water to the sea. There's thirsty souls that need refreshing. There's hurting people that need to be reached. And then, of course, then there's the story of the woman at the well, that Jesus looked at her and said, if you drink the water that I can give you. If you drink the water that's in this well, you're going to thirst again. But if you drink the water that I give you, man, you'll never thirst again. And it'll spring up in you like living water. And that's what God wants for you and me. He wants to give us that living water. That He wants us to take a drink of that living water that builds our spirit, that encourages us, that keeps us going, that gives us a reason to live, just like that letter I read. That gives us hope and a reason to live every day, that we get up in the morning and no matter how bad things are in our lives, we could say, I've got a reason to live. Take a drink of the Spirit of God and move on. And so after that night, like I said, I was so inspired to write this song. And it was a song that we did in Antioch for quite a while, and people just loved. It's a really fast moving song. The original riff goes like this. And we turned it into a bass line to start off the song. And I will let you know, too, because I've heard from a couple musicians, I tuned down a half step when playing. It's just something that I started doing years ago, and I really like it. I like the sound that it gives me. So all my songs are tuned down a half step. So if you're trying to play this song and you're like, wait a second, what I'm playing is not matching up with what Enosh is playing, or you listen to the song afterwards, it's a half step down, okay? So there are two recordings of this song, though. One we originally did in Antioch when we did our first demo, and the four guys back then. And then when later on when we recorded the Purpose album, we redid this song, and it came out really well. So that's the version you'll hear after I play its acoustic, and that's the version you'll be able to hear, like I said, at the end of the show. Incidentally, that CD is no longer available. Now, I shared why with you a few weeks ago, and you can also get Take the Water to the Desert. And eventually I'll put that whole album, the whole Purpose album, up on CD Baby, okay? But you can go to cdbaby.com and download the song if you like. And that's the only place that you can get it now, because all of those CDs are gone. They're all gone. So snatch that up while you can, all right? So thanks so much for tuning in this week, and like I said, sit around, and here we go with Take the Water to the Desert. All right. Sitting on the well one day, Samaritan woman came his way. She looked at Jesus, said, what guilt have I with you? Jesus looked at her and said, honey, if you only knew, I know more about you than you think. I see through the picture that you're trying to paint. Now stop and listen to me, and don't faint. I have a living water, why don't you just take a drink? Take the water to the desert and stop hauling water back to the sea. There's thirsty souls that need refreshing. There's hurting people that need to be reached. Take the water to the desert. Now see the hurting people, you don't have to look too far. Just look out your window, just look out your door. See them thirsty for something more. They need the living water, that's what we're here for. See the world living on the brink, going to the doctors, going to the shrinks, searching for the missing piece, searching for the missing link. They need the living water. to the desert. For the missing link, and need a little water. Why don't they just take a drink? Whoa, 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 whoa. Take the water to the desert and stop hauling water back to the sea. There's thirsty souls that need refreshing. There's hurting people that need to be reached. Take the water to the desert. Take the water to the desert. Let's Take the Water to the Desert. That's a fun song that I haven't played in a long, long time, but it's one of my faves and really moves, and I hope that that song meant something to you this week. It's a fast song, it's a fun song, but also I think it has a great message that when we are down, you know what? Take a drink. So I know, Ed, that you're watching this, so there you go. Anyways, let me know what you think of the show. Let me know your thoughts, your concerns, your disagreements with the show, as it were. Write to me this week at enoshmusic@hotmail.com. That's on your screen. You can also message me at This Is My Story, This Is My Song page on Facebook. Find me at Enosh Fee on YouTube. And of course, if you are interested in downloading the song and having it for your very own, you can find it on cdbaby.com/Enosh Fee. So that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope that you look forward to a lot of cool things that we have coming up. I got some cool ideas that I think you're going to enjoy, like the funny crazy song episode that's coming up. So you'll want to stay tuned for that, and lots more here on This Is My Story, This Is My Song. Bye bye. Oh yeah.
said